everybody. Welcome back to Dodgers Latest. I'm Jim Rodriguez. You can always hit me up on X and Instagram at JRodShow. Happy Monday last night. The Dodgers got off the schneid and beat the Colorado Rockies like everyone else has. Dodgers with a 5-3 win, dominating from the very first pitch all toward the end. We'll break it down for you and also tell you what's going on tonight. Very special day, not only in Dodger history, but in baseball history. But last night, the Dodgers, after struggling, only scoring 5 runs the whole weekend against the Cubs, they got 5 runs against the Rockies, beat them 5-3, and it all started in the bottom of the first inning. We told you Mookie Betts had dominated the Rockies starter, and Mookie did not fail us. 2-run homer to get things started. Dodgers breezed and won it 5-3. Dustin May was brilliant. But what jumped out at me, we talked about how the bottom of the Dodger order had been struggling all year. Well, it didn't get much better, but talk about compensation. Look at these numbers. The top of the Dodger order, and last night that was Ohtani, Betts, and Freddie Freeman. 7 for 14 against the Rockies last night. 2 homers, 3 runs batted in, 5 runs scored. They scored all the runs that they needed, and of course it was capped off by Mookie Betts, his 2-run homer in the bottom of the first inning to get things started. Something else to bring up, that threesome of Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei, that was only the 5th time all season. The 5th time all season that the 3 have been in the lineup at the same time. So hopefully everybody is well. Hopefully everyone is healthy, and we can get more of that. And of course, when you're struggling, there's nothing more than the doctor would prescribe than playing the Colorado Rockies. Well, talking about doctors and talking about prescribing, boy, what an outing for Dustin May. Every time he takes him out, it's emotional, right? Remember, he had Tommy John surgery. Then he had surgery to clean it up. And then, during rehab, he was eating a salad, and a piece of it got in his esophagus, scratched his esophagus, needed emergency surgery. All in all, that was his first win in almost 2 years. What a road back for Dustin May. And if you've seen any of his games, boy, the ball it's like he's throwing a wiffle ball. It just moves and darts and drops. 6 innings last night, 7 strikeouts, no walks, which I think is brilliant in dominating the Colorado Rockies. And I'll tell you what, we've talked about Blake Snell. He is going to miss another start. We'll get into Landon Knack, who's back on the hill tonight for the Dodgers replacing Snell. But Dustin May could be the wild card of this whole situation for the Dodgers. If he can stay healthy with that electric stuff, I mean, he's an ace. And you put him up with Yamamoto and Sasaki and Glasnow, and then down the road, if Kershaw can come back and Gonsolin can come back, man, oh man, you talk about a deep, deep postseason run and a deep postseason rotation. And we've seen it. We saw it, many times where starters have to be relievers in the postseason. Boy, you talk about getting 3-4 innings from a starter and bringing in a Dustin May or bringing in a Tony Gonsolin. Amazing stuff. And it's just electric that Dustin May has. It reminds me of when Clayton Kershaw was in his heyday with the Dodgers. You would almost look on your calendar and find out when Clayton Kershaw was going to pitch because you wanted to see that curveball. You wanted to see him dominate. And that's what Dustin May. I mean, it almost looks unfair what he was doing to the Colorado Rockies last night. Just darting and dropping sliders and fastballs and sinkers. Amazing stuff. So good for Dustin May. Emotional time for the man in the cowboy hat. First win in almost 2 years. Congratulations. And by the way, that ERA so far this year, just a tick over 1. Completely and totally dominating stuff. Looks like Dustin's next start will either be Sunday in Texas or out at Wrigley Field when the Dodgers head out there next week. A guy who's due for a good start is Landon Knack. He got absolutely hit from pillar to post out in Washington, D.C. his last time out. And for the Dodgers, I don't know if Landon Knack is going to be on this rotation, and he needs to help himself today. He's got an ERA of 10.38. Well, 2 1/3 innings, 5 earned, and 4 hits against the Washington Nationals will do that to an ERA. So he's back on the mound tonight. He will draw Ryan Feltner for Colorado. And I'll tell you what, Feltner has probably been the best starter for the Rockies this year. He's got an ERA of under 3, 2.81. he has been great. And if you're thinking about any sort of prop bets or anything like that, we gave you Mookie last night. Well, Feltner has actually played and pitched well against the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman, 3 for 11. Mookie's 1 for 7. Shohei, 1 for 6. And Feltner has 16 strikeouts in 16 innings pitched. So the Dodgers may have their hands full tonight with Feltner and, of course, with Landon Knack, who's back on the mound. Going to need a good, strong outing for him. He is spelling. This was Blake Snell's start. Don't know if we'll see Knack anymore if he struggles today. Got to find his place in the world, especially in this deep rotation. Is it a bullpen situation for him? Landon Knack needs a big start, and we're rooting for him tonight. And speaking of rooting, well, April 15th, always a banner day in Dodger history and, of course, Major League history. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier April 15th, 1947. Man, we're coming up on almost 60 years of not more than that, almost 80 years ago now. 1947, 2027 will be 80 years of Jackie Robinson. And of course, we know the pomp and circumstances around it. Everyone wears 42. And, of course, the Dodgers have retired 42 long before all of Major League Baseball. If you've ever been out to Dodger Stadium and you get a chance to go out there and look at that statue of Jackie Robinson sliding into home plate, it's iconic, it's epic, and it just goes to show you what he has done and what he continues to do. Not that Major League Baseball is there. The African-American is lacking in baseball. It's obviously become an international game, and that's great for baseball with the Japanese influence, the Korean influence. Long before that, the Latin American ball players, but we need African Americans to be more involved in baseball. And Jackie Robinson, every year on April 15th, is a reminder that it was a historic day, but there's still more work to do. So we celebrate and we tip our cap to Jackie Robinson. And as Pee Wee Reese said that famous day, maybe one day we'll all wear 42. Well, today is that day as they all wear 42 to honor the great legacy of Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. LA guy, by the way, of course, product of UCLA. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Big series with the Rockies continues tonight and tomorrow. Dodgers don't know who's going to start on Wednesday. Probably be a bullpen day off Thursday. And the Dodgers then head out to Arlington site where they won the 2020 World Series, where they played the Texas Rangers and our old friend Corey Seager before heading out to Wrigley Field to play the Cubs. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Hit me up on X and Instagram at JRodShow. Always time for Dodger baseball. This, of course, is Dodgers Latest.